Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. So far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing of the week being Rhomaleosaurus. It is an extinct genus of Rhomaleosaurid pliosaurid, which lived in and around what is now the British Isles during the Toarcian stage of the early Jurassic period, some 184 to 274 million years ago. The first fossils, now known to belong to Rhomaleosaurus, consisting of a near-complete skeleton, was unearthed in an alum quarry in Kettleness near Yorkshire, England, in 1848. The skeleton was kept for 5 years at Mulgrave Castle, which was then owned by the Marquess of Normanby, and then in 1853, the Marquess introduced the finding to the Irish surgeon and anatomist Sir Philip Crampton. The same year, Crampton transferred the fossil to Dublin to be displayed as a centerpiece in the 1853 British Association annual meeting. After a decade, still remaining undescribed, the specimen was moved to the Royal Dublin Society Museum and was officially described by Alexander Carty and W. H. Bailey as a new species of plesiosaurus they dubbed Plesiosaurus cramptoni after the Irish scientist. In 1874, the British geologist Harry Govier Seeley found it to be markedly different from Plesiosaurus in both size and shape, and instead established it as its own genus Rhomaleosaurus, and made it the type genus of the family Rhomaleosauridae. Since then, several more specimens of Rhomaleosaurus have been recovered, including multiple fairly complete skeletons. And today, 4 species are considered valid: R. cramptoni, R. propinquus, R. thorntoni, and R. zetlandicus. Reaching upwards of 23 feet or 7 meters in length, Rhomaleosaurus sported a somewhat odd combination of characteristics, having a proportionally large, elongated, and robust skull, similar to that of later pliosaurs, but to a less extreme degree. Yet it also had an elongated, thick neck, similar to more traditional plesiosaurs, but again to a less extreme degree. These characteristics, along with its temporal placement, indicate that Rhomaleosaurus was one of the earliest large pliosaurs, and may show the transition of body plans from the earlier plesiosaur shape to the later pliosaur build. Next up is Arcticus binturong, better known as the binturong or bear cat. It is a species of viverrid native to rainforests throughout the South Asian countries of India, China, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines. These fairly solitary arboreal omnivores mammals tend to feed upon various fruits, nuts, leaves, eggs, worms, insects, fish, amphibians, rodents, small birds, and carrion. Binturongs are themselves preyed upon by dholes, leopards, clouded leopards, tigers, and large pythons. Reach around 28 to 35 inches or 71 to 90 centimeters in head and body length, with a 26 to 28 inch or 66 to 71 centimeter long tail, and weighing in around 24 to 71 pounds or 11 to 32 kilograms. The binturong is a long and heavy animal with short, stout legs. It has a thick coat of coarse black hair. The bushy and prehensile tail is thick at the root and gradually tapering, and curls inwards at the tip. The muzzle is short and pointed, somewhat turned up at the nose, and is covered with bristly hairs, which are brown at the points, which lengthen as they diverge. and form a peculiar radiated circle around the face. The eyes are large, black, and prominent. The ears are short, round, and edged with white, and terminated by tufts of black hair. Both sexes sport scent glands, which emit an odor reminiscent of popcorn or corn chips, described as itpit by the Malaysian Jahi people. Binturongs may mate throughout the year, and after an 84 to 99-day pregnancy, a mother binturong may give birth to 1 to 6 young called binlets. Female binturongs reach sexual maturity around 2.5 years, and males at around 2. Under ideal conditions, a binturong may live upwards of 25 years. Next up, we have Stereolepis gigas, better known as the giant sea bass, the black sea bass, or the giant black sea bass. It is a species of critically endangered large bony fish native to the North Pacific Ocean. Here they tend to inhabit kelp forests, reefs, and rocky drop-offs along the Pacific coast of North America and Asia, particularly along California, Japan, and Baja, Mexico. These apex predators feed upon a wide variety of crustaceans and fish, especially mackerel, sheephead, whitefish, sand bass, and several species of crab. Giant sea bass are themselves preyed upon by very large sharks and certain cetaceans. Historically, these fish often reach upwards of 7 feet or 2.13 meters in length and 600 pounds or 270 kilograms, in weight. However, due to intense overfishing reducing the population by 90%, today's giant sea bass average under 6.6 feet or 2 meters in length and 400 pounds or 181 kilograms in weight. Breeding occurs in the summer, and during such times, groups of 2 to 20 fish come together to broadcast spawn at specific locations. Females will lay up to 60 million eggs, and after incubation for 24 to 36 hours, the eggs hatch and the larvae drift and feed upon plankton for about a month until they sink and start their juvenile phase. As juveniles, giant sea bass are golden in color with distinct black spots. As they reach maturity, they lose their bright coloration and turn gray. Their spots, while still visible, are less permanent. Under ideal conditions, a giant sea bass may reach temperature around 11 to 13 years of age and live upwards of 70. Next up, we have Anaxyrus woodhousei, better known as Woodhouse's toad. It is a species of true toad endemic to western and central North America, from as far north as the U.S. states of Montana, North Dakota, and Washington, to as far south as the Mexican state of Durango, and from California and Washington in the west to Missouri and Louisiana in the east. Here it typically inhabits riverine woodlands, wetlands, meadows, ponds, and alpine lakes, as well as reservoirs, canals, roadside ditches, agricultural land, and urban environments. These typically nocturnal amphibians feed upon a wide range of small invertebrates, such as insects, mollusks, arachnids, crustaceans, and worms. They possess parotoid glands behind their eyes and warts on their skin that secrete a white, milky mucus containing mildly poisonous bufotoxins designed to deter predators. Despite this, Woodhouse's toad are preyed upon by skunks, raccoons, garter snakes, hognose snakes, and various species of hawks. Reaching up to 5 inches or 12.7 centimeters long, Woodhouse's toads are robustly built and can be easily distinguished and recognized by the prominent cranial crest adorning their head, being both in front of and in between the eyes. The dorsal surface of this toad is grayish-brown or yellowish-brown, and is often speckled with small dark spots. There is a narrow, pale line running along the spine. The belly is rather paler and is usually unspotted. The male has a single vocal sac on his throat, and his call resembles the bleat of a sheep and lasts for 1 to 3 seconds. Breeding typically occurs between February and July, where adults congregate around marshes, rain pools, ponds, stock tanks, lakes, reservoirs, flooded areas, and other bodies of water lacking a strong current. Here they lay long gelatinous strings of eggs, which will soon hatch as tadpoles, which then slowly mature over the next 5 to 8 weeks. Under ideal conditions, a Woodhouse's toad may live up to 20 years. Next up is Buteo jamaicensis, better known as the red-tailed hawk or chicken hawk. It is a species of hawk which is widely distributed throughout the Caribbean and Central North America, where it breeds from as far north as Alaska and the Canadian Yukon to as far south as Costa Rica and Panama. Here they prefer areas with a mix of woodland and open areas, but are highly adaptable and are known to inhabit both deciduous and coniferous forests, deserts, grasslands, mountains, coastal lands, scrublands, jungles, and agricultural fields, as well as urban areas, only really avoiding tundra and dense swamps. Here they primarily feed upon various small mammals such as shrews, rodents, bats, langomorphs, as well as fish, amphibians, and small reptiles, particularly snakes, crustaceans, insects, earthworms, and various birds, including songbirds, pigeons, quail, corvids, waterfowl, and other raptors, as well as even wild turkeys. Red-tailed hawks are themselves preyed upon by bobcats, ocelots, eagles, and great horned owls. The red-tailed hawk is a sexual dimorphic in size, with females being around 25% larger than males, reaching around 19 to 26 inches or 48 to 65 centimeters in length, around 2 to 4.4 pounds or 0.91 to 2 kilograms in weight, which compared to males, which get around 18 to 24 inches or 45 to 60 centimeters in length, and 1.52 to 2.81 pounds or 0.69 to 1.3 kilograms in weight. Both sexes sport 41 to 56 inch or 105 to 141 centimeter wingspan. Red-tailed hawk plumage can be variable depending on the subspecies and the region, with three common color morphs being light brown and rufous. Overall, this species is blocky and broad in shape, typically sporting a whitish underbelly with a dark brown band across the belly, formed by horizontal streaks in feather patterning. The red tail, which gives the species its name, is uniformly brick red above and light buff orange below. The cerri, the legs, and the feet of the red-tailed hawk are all yellow. Red-tailed hawks are generally monogamous, with pairs breeding for many years. Breeding typically occurs in the spring, during which time a pair build a large elaborate nest high in trees or along cliff faces, which are made out of twigs, sticks, bark, pine needles, corn cobs, husked stalks, aspen cattails, and other plant material. Once the nest is complete, a mother red-tailed hawk will lay up to 5 eggs, which are incubated in shifts by both parents for 28 to 35 days. The chicks fledge after around 45 days, but continue to stay with their parents for another 4 to 7 weeks. Under no conditions, a red-tailed hawk may reach so much around 2 years of age and may live upwards of 20. Next up is Octopus cyanae, better known as the day octopus, the big blue octopus, the common reef octopus, cyanae's octopus, the hehe or the hehe mali. It is a species of large diurnal octopus in the family Octopodidae. It inhabits reefs, rock outcrops, shipwrecks, and shallow lagoons throughout the Red Sea and the tropical Indian and Pacific Oceans, from the east coast of Africa to the Hawaiian archipelago. Here they hunt and feed upon fish, crabs, shrimp, and mollusks, which they usually kill via a mildly venomous bite. Additionally, the day octopus is known to cooperatively hunt with roving coral grouper, blacktip grouper, and goatfish. During these hunts, individuals have been seen to punch and strike groupers with their arms. This is likely a disciplined response towards the fish exploiting the hunt rather than actively participating, and as a means to prevent the fish from crowding around the octopus. Day octopus are themselves preyed upon by sharks, dolphins, moray eels, large bony fish, sea lions, and Hawaiian monk seals, reaching up to 6.3 inches or 16 centimeters in mantle length and 31.5 inches or 80 centimeters with its arms outstretched. Contrary to its popular name as the big blue octopus, is typically a brown in color, but have the ability to rapidly change color and skin texture. These octopus are characterized by a dark oval false eye, spots with no iridescent rings, and are commonly present at the base of their arms, and dark brown coloring on the tips of their arms along two rows of lighter spots. The dark eye spots are only sometimes visible and depends upon the patterns being displayed by individual octopuses. The day octopus's ability to camouflage is exceptional, and they can produce a wide variety of color patterns and elaborate skin textures that resemble the ocean substrate around them, making them virtually invisible to predators. Breeding may occur year-round, and day octopus may breed multiple times with multiple partners. After final mating, female day octopus lay hundreds of thousands of eggs, which she guards and cares for inside her lair. The eggs hatch the platonic juveniles that feed upon zooplankton during the early stages of development. Under ideal conditions, a day octopus may live up to 15 months. And our last animal of the week is Troodon. Troodon is a controversial genus of relatively small, bird-like theropod dinosaurs, which contains at least one species, Troodon formosus, which is definitively known to have lived in North America during the Campanian age of the late Cretaceous period, roughly 77 million years ago. The type specimen of Troodon has caused problems with classification, as the entire genus is based off of only one single tooth, which was found in the Judith River Formation of Montana in 1856. The specimen was described later the same year by Joseph Leidy, with the name Troodon meaning wounding tooth in Greek. Leidy initially classified the animal as a type of lizard. However, the creature was reassigned as a megalosaurid dinosaur by Franz Nopska von Fislow Silvacus in or C. Silvus in 1901. In 1924, Gilmore suggested that the tooth belonged to the herbivorous Pachycephalosaur Stegosaurus, and that Stegosaurus was in fact a junior synonym of Troodon. The classification of Troodon as a Pachycephalosaur was followed for many years, and during which time the family Pachycephalosauridae was known as Troodontidae. In 1945, Charles Mortrand Sternberg rejected the possibility that Troodon was a pachycephalosaur, thanks to its stronger similarity to the teeth of other carnivorous dinosaurs. With Troodon now classified as a theropod, the family Troodontidae could no longer be used for the dome-headed dinosaurs, so Sternberg named a new family for them, Pachycephalosauridae. The first non-teeth specimens assigned to Troodon, consisting of a foot, hand, and some tail vertebrae, were found by Sternberg in early 1930 in the Dinosaur Park Formation of Alberta. A remarkable feature of these remains was the enlarged claw on the second toe, which is now recognized as a characteristic of early paravians. A more complete skeleton of Stenonychosaurus was described by Dale Russell in 1969 from the Dinosaur Park Formation. Stenonychosaurus became a well-known theropod in the 1980s, when the feet and brain case were described in more detail. Along with Sauroornitholoides, it formed the family Sauroornitholoidae. Based on differences in tooth structure and the extremely fragmentary nature of the original Troodon formosus specimens, Sauroornitholoides were thought to be close relatives, while Troodon was considered a dubious possible relative of the family. Phil Currie, reviewing the pertinent specimens in 1987, showed that supposed differences between the tooth and jaw structure among troodontids and Sauroornitholoides were based on age and position of the tooth in the jaw, rather than the difference in species. He reclassified Styracosaurus inequalis, Polyodontosaurus grandis, and Pectinodon baccari as junior synonyms of Troodon formosus. Curie also made Sauroornitholoidae a junior synonym of Troodontidae. Curie's classification of all North American troodontid material in the single species Troodontid formosus became widely adopted by paleontologists, and all of the specimens once called Styracosaurus were referred to Troodon in scientific literature throughout the 21st century. However, the concept that all late Cretaceous North American troodontids belonging to one single species began to be questioned, including by Currie himself, with many proposing that several distinct species must exist within the Troodont genus. In 2017, Evans and colleagues further discussed the undiagnostic nature of the holotype of Troodon formosus, suggesting that Styracosaurus be used for the Troodon skeleton material from the Dinosaur Park Formation. In 2025, Verascio and colleagues attempted to reestablish the genus Troodon and proposed the troodontid material from Jack's birthday site in the Two Medicine Formation as the neotype of T. formosus. It is believed that Troodont was a small theropod reaching up to 8.2 feet or 2.5 meters in length and weighing up to 77 pounds or 35 kilograms. They had very long, slender hind limbs, suggesting that these animals were able to run quickly. They had large, retractable, sickle-shaped claws on the second toes, which were raised off the ground when running. Their eyes were very large and slightly forward-facing, and if Troodon is synonymous with Styracosaurus, then Troodon possessed one of the largest known brains relative to body size of any non-avian dinosaur. As always, take care to my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Hope y'all have a wonderful day.